So welcome to part 2 in our short video series on how to add a game to the WSGF Games database. In the first part, if you haven't watched that, we've gone through what assets you'll need to get together, box art, the types of screenshots, other web links, and so forth that will be helpful and help create a complete entry into the database. If you haven't checked that out, it's pretty short. Give it a listen, and we'll help give some good tips on how to be successful in adding games to our database. So to add a game to the database, where you're going to find that link is over here on the left. You will see this link here that says contribute content to the WSGF. Open that, and we have here games database entry. So we're going to go ahead and click that and let the form load. And so I'm going to read through this and go through the form in pretty good detail. The video will be longer, much longer than what it actually takes to do this. I'm going to split the video up into a couple of pieces. And so to read through this, it says this is our detailed report form. It's used to enter a game into the database. Open each content group below. You can see all the little groups there collapsed. Any field marked in red is required for grading. You enter the details and the system automatically creates the gold, silver, and so forth metal, so you don't have to worry about calculating the grade. That's all done for you. Once you submit the site, again, it will be graded and the medal will be awarded. Each section will have helper text like this at the top to let you know what information is needed. And some fields will have text below to give more specific guidance as well. When you submit the video, the editorial staff will be noted. They'll review the entry for completeness and accuracy. Once that's done, it'll be promoted to the front page, and it will generate the discussion thread in the forum. So we're going to start with adding the name, which here is BioShock Infinity. And then we're going to add some basic information. Close out these other two tabs we had open a second ago. And I generally just grab some information here from Wikipedia. So I think this is enough. I mean, we're not looking to create a full Wikipedia entry, just some information so that folks will know a little bit about the game. Something popular like BioShock Infinite, most anybody will know about. But we still put this in here. We did get this from Wikipedia, and we're not plagiarists, so we will add that here. You will see this little box here under all of the text boxes, and it lists that you can enter limited HTML tags. That's all taken care of for you up here. You can add a picture, a link, bold, italics, underline, and so forth. So anytime you see this, you can just ignore it. It's just basically repeating what we've got here in the little mini toolbar. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the basic game information. So the first thing is the box art. Again, I've got that here. Let me open up. And so here's the box art that I grabbed earlier. The game is released, so we will select that. We'll go back up here to Wikipedia. The game was released on March 26th, so we'll add that in. And again, I said Wikipedia is a great source of information for this. For setting, we have the list here, and so there are several things that might fit. You could put that it's modern, although it's not quite modern. It's set in 1912. You could call it historical fantasy, which would work. You might also call it steampunk. It's got a rather steampunk vibe to it. So what I will do is I will go ahead and add both of those. I'll add historical fantasy. Now I'll add steampunk. And then for a genre, you can see we have 4 starting places here, but this is a first-person shooter, so that's under action, 3D shooter, FPS. You can see that there are a few other options here, and as you go through these, it would fill out the submenus, so we'll add that. I know it has a single-player campaign, so we'll add that and then flip over. And there are no multiplayer modes. The developer on this is Irrational Games, and then it also lists Human Head Studios. You only really need to put the primary developer here. And so we will go down and select Irrational, if I can find them in the list. Here they are. If the developer for a game is not there, which happens a lot of times with indie games, there's an option at the top to add that developer. You can add it to the list and then select it. This spot here is for developer feedback. This is most often used if there are if the game is in pre-release, if you're adding a beta, an entry for a beta game, or while it's in development, sometimes you'll get feedback from a developer of what they're planning to do, what they're not planning to do. Even though it's after the fact, I'll go ahead and enter here. For example, is that the game was shown in AMD press decks for GPU releases as a game evolved title with Eyefinity support. So this is something that we shared on the site, but pre-release this would give users an idea of what to expect. So you don't have to close that. You can just leave all that open. So the next thing we'll get here is the list of websites that I opened up previously. So here's the link for BioShock Infinite, and I'll probably just go ahead and take the home off of there since it's going to route you to the it would route you to the date check anyway. So here are the Irrational Games forums. So if you need help or support, that would be a good place to go there. Here's the list, the link for Facebook, and then Twitter, and then the Wikipedia entry we referenced. PC Gaming Wiki, we are friends with these folks, and we cross-link back and forth. So from their site, you will get the information here. And then Metacritic. And we have a link here for Moby Games as well. I generally use that just for indie titles. I'm sorry, not indie titles. I use it for retro titles because it will have information where Metacritic won't. And Moby Games also rarely has information when a game's in beta or pre-release. So it will often, link won't be available if you are adding a game before release or just prior to release. So the next section here is for the affiliate store links. I've gone ahead and opened these up. I've closed out the previous set of tabs I had there. For the Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, and Amazon.ca, you can look up the PC version of the title and grab this ASIN number. If somebody uses the links on the site to purchase the title, we can earn a few pennies for that and would be very appreciative for it. This title is not available on GOG, but if the title is, the information you need to grab is right here. It's after the game card / just basically the name of the title as they have it formatted on their site. If you drop that in there, we can get a few pennies from that one as well. So you see some boxes here for Steam app numbers. Steam does not have an affiliates or an associates program for us to make a commission or earn a few pennies off of. But if you will open up in your web browser the Steam store at store.steampower.com, search for the game. If you can grab the number right here, if you enter it here, what that will do is some other friends of ours at Enhanced Steam. It's a Chrome or Firefox plugin that you can use when browsing the Steam store, and it will actually add our certification medals here. The gold, the silver, the X for the not supported, the sort of empty one for limited support. But if you use the plugin, which you can download from their site, enhancedsteam.com, it will add this functionality when you're browsing the web version of the Steam store. And if you will add the app number there, that will help make all that happen. So we are here a little more than 10 minutes into this video, or about 10 minutes in. And so I'm going to go ahead and save my work here. And you can see we've got a fair amount of information. And, it's often good to save along the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click Save here. And we'll see it pop up with the information that we have in so far. So we can see here that the grading is incomplete because we actually haven't entered any information. You can see the box art here. You can see the Steam number here. Eventually this will go away. That's there for our debugging purposes at the time that I'm recording this. You can see the affiliate links, or if somebody clicked on the flag for their store, if you look down in the status bar, you can see the URLs there. We have all the game information, which is this whole block here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill out the information for the support summary here that's actually used for the grading, and then finally we'll come in with the screenshots.